Hello, Katie here, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the idea of love and the idea of control, and how you can use this awareness to create a life that you find more fulfilling and that allows you to use your gifts more to their fullest potential. So today I was working on a PDF for a new masterclass that I just put together, and it's kind of an introduction to human design. It helps you learn how to activate that divine design within you, and it's all about human design. And human design is the system that I use along with a lot of other things to work with my clients, and it's the one I use because I've been using it for 10 years, but I've been using it for 10 years for myself and for others because it's the one tool I found that gives this really individual blueprint of who you are and who you came to be, and ask us to own who we are and own our unique divinity as it came here. And so this idea of our unique individuality, of our divinity, of us here as God, is a fun one to play with, and it's interesting, and there are these different levels, not levels, but there are stages that people go through. And sometimes people don't go through them, but a lot of people in my world go through them, and other people that I work with go through this stage. So, the stage. When I've always wanted to control things. Hey, in human design, I'm a projector. I'm designed to be a director of things and people. And really, my controllingness didn't extend that much to other people. I've always had kind of good boundaries around that. But I definitely wanted to control my life and my schedule and the way my work happened and the way my success happened and the way my dreams happened. Yeah, I would pray about it. And then when I discovered science of mind and law of attraction, I would do all the manifestation techniques, and I'd get myself high on gratitude, and I would do all of these things to manifest and to have that manifesting mindset. And I manifested a lot of stuff. And it was really fun and exciting at first. And then this awareness that kept coming to me is, you can do that. You can use the laws of the universe that way. You can use your knowledge of yourself as a divine creator of your reality. But you're still forcing, and you're still controlling, and you're still saying that this I that you're aware of, which is almost always the little ego I, knows best. And for a while, I really liked that. As many of you know, I call myself a New Age Christian. I grew up in the Christian church as an Episcopal, and then went a New Age route, and I've studied like a million different kinds of spirituality within New Age. I mean, like Wicca, nature stuff, chakras, energy, science of mind, which is my other big pillar. And so from my Christian upbringing growing up, I was always talking to God and praying for God to, do God's work in my life. But there was a part of me that didn't really like the idea that I didn't have any choice, that I either got free will or I gave all of my will over to God. I didn't like that. And so when science of mind came along and law of attraction, I was like, yes, now I get to have a relationship with God and have spirit work in my life, but I'm in the driver's seat. And what I've come to discover now is that I was never in the driver's seat as me, as little me. The I that I tend to be aware of in a moment to moment basis, that ego I, is really just in the way more than anything else. So our job when we get our human design chart, or when we get a vision of what we're supposed to create or an inspiration, isn't to then control it and to try to make it right and to try to make it work and try to make it fit. It's to allow God to continue to flow through us as us. So it's not that we're letting this foreign entity take over our life, or that we're giving up our part of the puzzle, but it is a recognition that we are here as God, that each one of us are a thought in the mind of God, that each one of us are a part of the body of God, and that there's this greater organization happening, always happening, and we're a part of it. So we can choose to play with that flow and that order, or we can choose to play in a different way. But we're always going back towards greater wholeness, whether we choose to do it our way or we choose to do it in alignment with the greater pattern of creation that's happening. And when we do it in the greater pattern of creation that's happening, we still get to be present for it. We still get to be active in it, but it's much more through us. And this sounds like a great idea for a lot of people. It sounded like a great idea for me the more and more I played with it. But then it's actually being available for that surrender and actually being available for the creation of God as you and through you. And what I noticed and what I was thinking about as I rested today is, you're either creating from control or from love. Now, a lot of people say you're creating from fear or from love, but a lot of times fear doesn't present as fear. It doesn't present as the kind of fear that we identify with or identify as fear. A lot of times fear shows itself as resistance or procrastination or control, those are the three ways at least for myself, that I've noticed it manifest in a day-to-day kind of creation mode. So when I'm either in resistance, procrastination, or controlling something, usually if I'm in resistance or procrastination, it is because I'm trying to control something. And so once we've identified I'm in one of those two areas, then we can go to that control factor and say, what am I trying to control? And when I'm trying to control something, it means I'm looking at something as being not perfect. I'm looking at something that I need to fix. So if I'm trying to control my design as a mental projector with no motors or any other definition to energize myself, if I'm trying to control that either through drinking too much coffee or going to a coffee shop so I can plug into other people's energy, I am not loving my design, my unique energy blueprint. So instead of doing that, if I can say, okay, so I guess my design is keeping me in my perfect and right place and I love it. And so I'm going to rest and I'm going to nurture it. Then other things can unfold for me in a miraculous way. I've been following my design for a long time, especially in business. And there aren't that many projectors who have success in the way that I have success. And it's because a lot of times when projectors find out their design, they fight against it quite a bit. And there's not a lot of support for them to embrace who they are and how they're designed. We won't go into that today, why that is, but it's something that I hope to help with, is to be a source for people to figure out how to love themselves as they are instead of trying to make themselves fit into a mold of the world. And for a long time I really did struggle, and I still struggle sometimes, going, well, the world's not designed for me. It doesn't want my gifts. It doesn't want what I have to offer. But when I leave that space, and I do leave that space a lot and go into, no, like if I'm here, if these are the circumstances I came into, if this is my design, if this is how God created me, then it's for something beautiful and magical, because that is the nature of God. I know that that's the nature of God, and I've been trying to talk to God ever since forever, because when you look at a leaf or a flower or a butterfly, there's nothing in nature that I've ever come across that isn't pretty beautiful and miraculous. Even the really scary things, like those giant jellyfish out in Australia. Like, do I want to be up close to one? Not particularly, but seeing videos of it, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous and fascinating how it works. And we're each like that. We may not be giant and poisonous, but some of us may be a little bit more stingy than others. But you wouldn't be designed the way that you're designed if it weren't for a beautiful, intelligent unfolding. And every time you try to control that unfolding and deny the perfection of who you are, you slow down the creation process. So instead of trying to get the thing to work, whatever the thing is, the project, the idea, the business, instead of trying to get it to work and asking God to help you, know that you are God, and God is always supporting you, and Spirit is always just waiting for you to let it in. And the way that you let spirit in is to love. So whatever you're controlling, start to love it instead. Love it for what it is, how it is, where it is. And truly, not fake. I mean, sometimes you kind of have to fake it, but whatever, there's always a little string of something that you can love about something you're trying to control. Woo! Leaf fell. So, whatever that is, please just start to love it and know that this is a process that you get better and better and better at, and that you, by virtue of being made of God stuff, are infinite, which means that your cycles, as you go round and round, you're going round and up the spiral, and you're going to keep coming to these lessons and these awarenesses, and it's never going to stop. That's the beautiful part. That's that big infinite nature of God and of you. So have patience for yourself, love each moment, love each surprise. Like, just allow it to envelope you. And as you do that, you'll experience more magic and more miracles, and life will begin to have this intelligent pattern to it and logic that you never saw before. Blessing, love, rainbows, glitter, joy, all of those things to you. Until next time, I'll see you then.